Do you think that the music industry in itself just kind of gave up on the idea of R&B groups because it seems like we have these individuals now that are just coming onto the scene, whereas prior to that, it was somebody that came from a group, like Beyonce came from Destiny's Child. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that the industry just kind of shifted away from the idea of the group?
I think the industry made a decision. They decided between hip hop or R&B. The question is, why couldn't they choose both? And I think I've heard some off the record conversations from former record executives that that was a conscious decision to focus less on R&B groups, to focus more on hip hop. It's cheaper, easier to control. You don't have to worry about makeup, choreography, anything, a track, instrumentals, none of that. So it's cheaper. And then to add on top of that, you have EDM music that really took the stage. And so if you remember like the late 2000s, like you had like Usher, Rihanna, Neo making all these EDM tracks because that
Right.
was kind of the way the industry was taking. That's also cheaper to produce, easier, and radio stations maybe they got tired. They didn't want to hear about love and and falling in love and like a Jodeci or like a Boys to Men. They kind of want people to be partying, and then the trend is more towards hip hop. That's why the radio format Quiet Storm kind of faded in the late 90s. Like it went away. It was really strong from like the mid 70s to like 1999, but then they flipped to hip hop because that's what the younger people wanted. The younger people didn't want that. So I think record labels and the industry made a decision, and that's where we're seeing the impact. But really the question is, why did they make that decision? Now that's a whole nother book and a whole nother article. But that's kind of to agree with what you're saying. Feel free to pick up the book, The Quiet Storm, a historical and cultural analysis of the power, passion, and pain, wherever you get your books, whether it be Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Book Baby, anywhere.
pushplaypods.com.